Hi there, my name is Jordan Johnson and I'm a psychic medium from jojoempathic.com. Today I have a video you're not going to want to miss. So I'm going to start out by going over how to tap into your Merkaba, your sacred light body vessel. And it's going to transition into a video in how to release spirit attachments and possession. So this is a video that you want to save if you're, scrolling through social media and this comes on your For You page and sounds interesting, or you're battling and you're searching for the truth, it's hard to find online, you're going to want to save this video and watch it later when you can sit down with your feet on the floor, grounded, with a pen and paper. Have some water, have some tea, something, coffee. Save this for when you can be dedicated to watching it in entirety. So when we are really battling, you may feel distracted from this video. It's like in your spirit saying, I want to watch this, but you'll feel distractions because it's a battle. So save this for when you have time to sit down and take notes. A lot of people right now, what I would start by saying is about 95% of the population that I see is battling spirit attachments and possession. I feel the church is doing us a major disservice in how they teach and preach about spirit attachments and possession. So a lot of times if we're clearing ourselves, this is why many people reach out to mystics, mediums, clairvoyants, to help psychics, to help them to clear spirits and to depossess themselves. Now there is clinical forms of depossession. This is through hypnotherapy that I've found is the most beneficial, useful, and rooted in love that I recommend for people. We do see others that perform exorcisms, and I think clearing work is powerful and important. I think what's more important also is understanding that energy never dies, so it needs to be transmuted. We can exorcise somebody and, a spirit pop off and cast them into hell, and hell's here. So now the one person's clear and feeling good and cleared their illness and cleared their disease and poverty and all this and that. But then that spirit is going to go haunt someone else, another vessel, another medium of spirit, a dog, another kid, So I'm in the business of transmutation. I work for the light, and I see this as a way that we can overcome darkness. We can't destroy it, but we can transmute it. And that's what makes this a better place for us all. So this is a very important video for you if you are on a healing journey. This could be a key for you. So I'm going to try to get it all in as quickly as possible. Try to focus. Pick up my mini book. It's Spiritual Awakening with Ancient Intelligence, How to Create and Manifest Through Spiritual Connection and Energy Balancing. It's only $13 for the digital download, but it's a really nice handout if you order it. Beautiful imagery in here, but there's a part on sacred geometry, and I go over the flower of life, but the next part is the sacred geometry in terms of your Merkaba. Okay, so I'm going to start here with your Merkaba. We're trying to clear ourselves, right? So right now I feel really good. And I'll tell you why. My feet feel like there is circulation in my feet. My feet feel planted on the ground. I feel grounded. I feel centered. I feel that there's blood flow throughout my body. My heart is at peace. I'm happy today. I'm like, I could probably dance and sing. I'm happy. In the midst of, I've got a ton of stuff going on. My mind is centered, and if you are a mystic, you may understand that we have a lot of diagnosis. Now, I don't have a diagnosis of mental illness, but we tend to have a lot of disease, so I can focus. It's a very beautiful thing in this world. A lot of people can't focus. Drop a comment if you know what I'm talking about. My mind is clear. I have a sense of stillness. I'm grounded. I'm centered. I feel very well. This is the state that we want to be in when we do any type of spiritual work. Grounding starts by understanding that the sacred tree of life flows through you. It's not external. So this whole video, we're starting here. We've got to do layers. I can't just jump to this. I have to start here. When we are doing this work, it is so important to understand that you thought you were supposed to be over there. You thought you were supposed to be doing that. You thought you were supposed to go to this retreat and clear in the jungle and do this plant-based medicine. You thought, but the possession is still with you. Still creeps up a few years later. You said, I feel that this has been with me since a child and it cleared on the retreat, but now it's back. This is where we start. You're supposed to be right here when you thought you were there. You're supposed to be right here. Not worried about the past, not worried about the future. You're supposed to be incredibly present, and that's what's wrong with society today. We are not centered. We are not present. We don't feel good in our toesies, our feetsies. My grandma used to call it. We don't feel good in our hearts. I've been there. I've had hate in my heart before. What does that do? Makes you sick. We don't have clarity in our mind. I've been there. What does that do? Makes you very sick. So one of the ways we can help ourselves is be right here, right now, and centered and grounded. So the sacred tree of life is within us. I'm helping you to raise your awareness of your energetic field. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Remember, because we're talking about spirit attachments and possessions. It starts here, right here. So I give readings to people worldwide, virtually, remotely, and getting more centered and grounded is basically a universal collective message right now. Science can back up grounding. We can look at studies from Harvard to where you're actually walking barefoot and you begin to feel the electromagnetic field, the chakras of the earth, and it connects with your blood. It connects with your circulation. It helps to decrease inflammation in your body. This is free energy. This is why it's not talked about, okay? Free medicine. Free medicine. So grounding is key to your health, your wellness, your mind, your stillness, your centeredness. And you can go outside and walk barefoot. You can go in the grass, lay in the grass. And that's one of the best ways to receive the earth's energy, grounding energy. And if you're going through a block right now, I recommend it. But what if we're in our apartment or our home, which is where we really need to be? Because remember, we're not even supposed to be leaving the house yet. We're supposed to be right here, first thing in the morning, going in. So we use our mind. We use our higher faculties. This is the psychic intelligence. Okay, so it's so demonized because it's a higher intelligence that will allow you to tap into free energy, free medicine. Reclaim it. Don't demonize it. So with psychic work, we use a lot of, and I talk about this in my book, visualization and intention. That's your superpower. No tools. Do I like the crystal spheres? I love the crystal spheres because it's 360 rays of quartz. Come on. That's a healing tool. I don't use crystals for gazing as much as I use it for healing. Okay? I love sage. Sage is not going to clear your possession. No spiritual bath is going to clear your possession, no matter what she or he told you. So we don't need tools. I want to be clear. So we use our psychic intelligence. When we get grounded in the morning, we visualize ourselves like a sacred tree. We light ourselves up. Our chakras, our energy centers. Now, your field, I'm helping you to have awareness of, is like a torus shape. Okay, so think of you as a planet, and you've got an atmosphere. Okay, so think of you as like almost like an oval or a sphere. It's you, kind of look like an oval right now when I stand like this, and there's a whole atmosphere around me. Okay, if you're empathic, your auric field may reach out quite far, fill up the whole apartment complex, fill up the whole block. Now, you have this atmosphere around you is what you're gaining awareness of, your space. So let's just say for now it's in arm's reach. Okay? So the way that, clairvoyantly, which is a higher faculty, it's a sense that I see energy and I'm not alone and I'm not the first. This is ancient. We like to say New Age. New Age to age. No, it's not. This is old age. It's like the AI, right? You think that's new? Or this whole Elon Musk is bringing, he's the savior? No, this is ancient. We had all of this. This has always been. Okay, that's why we have to root it in light, not be afraid of it. Yes, they can do destructive things with it, but we need to root it in light. It's always been here, and we're in the age of Aquarius. As I'm coming out here on social media, is it time? Can we come out yet? The quirky ones, it's time for the message. This is time. Back to the message. So we have awareness of ourselves. This is how we heal ourselves. So back to the sacred tree and clairvoyance. The way that I see us is that we're interdimensional beings. We have energy centers that align our body, and our organs, our body gives off a field. So the way that you look is, think of a tube, like a torus shape, the opening of the circle right here, and it goes down your world. And there's another hole at the bottom. So you're spinning. Most people aren't spinning right now, but we're going to get you spinning by the end of the video. So basically your energy runs like this. You're always like, so energy is always coming into your field like this, in and out. It's like a circle. You know, there's a circle of energy. So whether you see like something over here and something over here, it's like this. So there's energy always flowing in and out. You're just continually in this cycle. It's your torus shape. That's your world and atmosphere. Now, your heart generates another torus field. It's measurable. So you have another one, right, like this. Okay? And this is spinning energy in and out. So then you can get even more divided. You know, you have physical chakras down here, the lower part of your body. The base of the spine, you have another torus, like a cone, this way. You have your root chakra spinning like this, you know. It's like, it's always spinning, the root. When it's healthy and vibrant, it vibrates red. When we aren't well in the root chakra, it can be turned off, it can be dimmed, it can be like faded. There can be cracks, ropes, you know, spiritual parasite. We're going to get into all of that later. But that's an energy center. The energy center is created through the nervous system and endocrine system, the blood, it's a generation of your magnetism, your field, your vibration, and it spins in a healthy way. Just like if you were to go to a doctor and see like a skeleton is a sample of a system of how our bones are, right? It looks healthy when it's like this. It's the same for your chakras. And each chakra is very much so connected to emotions. And so your root chakra is very physical. It's connected to your ancestry in this life. It's connected to your sense of security, stability, finances, overall health. It's the foundation of your house. You are the house. It's the foundation of your body. It's going to correspond with your legs. It's going to correspond with your skeletal system, your nervous system. I see this as my opinion. I see it as connected to the kidneys. So whenever I read people and see their kidneys like lit up, it's from fear. Because when we have fear, we have a broken stability. We don't feel secure. So the healing message is that we heal the root chakra through feeling a sense of security and stability and safety. Okay? We move up the body. This is a super sacral chakra. I was trying to say this is a super sacred sacral chakra. This is where you have like your sex organs, which are portals, just like everything else I'd claim in this video is. super sacred energy center. It's your center of expression. It's your center of creativity. It's your water. It's where we birth creation. And as we think it, so from the heart up, these are more spiritual, and these from the solar down are more physical. So we think it, we birth it through to the physical, right? So we push energy not only from below up, but also down, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So then we move up into our solar plexus, and this has to do a lot with, like, I think of like in Pilates, they call it your powerhouse of your body, or the mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. This is your sunshine, your vitality. This is connected to your sacred pancreas, which a lot of people in the world have imbalances with. Now we move up, and now we're getting into the spirit. So you have your heart chakra, so we're still generating those fields, as I said, the torus shape. This one is even larger because your heart is special. Your heart is basically a portal of electromagnetic energy. So if you think of like the core of the earth, that's your heart. So the earth has an electromagnetic field like your heart does. You know, that beat, the rhythm. This is the law of it's a perpetual motion. Everything's vibrating. It's a law. That's God. So this is a very sacred bridge. We get into the throat. When I start to see people that are possessed, I always see it in the throat. Who is talking through this person? Who is speaking for this person? Is it them? Usually it's an unresolved part of them, a wounded part of them, another part of them that they may not have ever seen before that's leading them. It could be a spirit outside of them that's now within. Okay? This is your sacred point of, I am able to speak my truth and walk in it. I'm confident with my voice. I feel received and heard. And we move up into the sacred third eye, tied to your pineal gland. So this can look tilted if I see it for people. A lot of people, it's open. They just are thinking it's supposed to be this magic thing. But like, literally, I can teach you how to look out of your mind's eye. Just look left and focus and intend, and you're there. You're not looking for anything really special or different. You're there. So it's not what it seems. And so it gets imbalanced. So people have mental illness from that. And I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe or diagnose. So you've got your third eye torus field. Now, what's special about the third eye, and I write about this, is that you have beams of light that go in the cardinal directions that need to be connected in order for you to have balance within the mind. This is also connected to your spiritual eyes, your spiritual ears. You've got chakra minors all around your body. Your joints are also portals. They're also magnets. I saw this as a child when I had chronic bone and joint pain for the majority of my life till I got older and took care of it from my mind. It's a portal. It's a magnet. It attracts energy. It needs to be cleansed. And one of the most best ways to heal yourself is by channeling light. So this is a discernment of real light workers in these days. Do they have all this pain? If you're channeling light and angels, you shouldn't have it. You shouldn't have pain. I never really got that, how certain mediums, they're still struggling after channeling light. They're not channeling light. Because when you channel light through you, you get healed. Miracle healing. So, and then I'm not saying this isn't exhausting work, because it is. But overall, my body has healed with time as I've become a channel of light. And then you have your crown. This is your cosmic connection. So you've got this sacred shape here. Now, when we talk about the 144,000, remember everything in spirituality or religion is all symbol. So basically, the petals of your chakras line up to 144,000. Your chakras are influenced by the planets. Just as the moon influences the tides, the poles of the planets influence your water. This is why under full moons people can't handle the intensity of the pulls and they go crazy. I don't like to say the word crazy. They can't handle the pulls on their bodies. Like, so this more recent full moon, so you may watch this at a later time. So we're in October 2024. This wasn't a normal full moon. I had to sit with my feet up. I just had to surrender. So we have to know if there's something actually wrong with us, or if it's like you're just an ant in the midst of a whole bigger picture. You know, sometimes we think we like to hypochondriac, we like to think there's something wrong. No, really, it's just we don't have awareness of how these planetary shifts are influencing our bodies. And sometimes you do have to just surrender, or else you'll be fighting something that is out of your control. So stillness, yes, can be some of the best medicine, in my opinion. Sometimes you really just have to know that this is intense right now, and maybe this is a time I need extra rest. And for those that don't know, they go crazy on the street. And you will see more and more people losing their minds because they cannot stand the shifts that we are feeling within our chakras. So you're one step ahead. Your awareness is what's going to save you. So your sacred tree of life flows through this field. The key is harmony and balance. You don't want this to be too big and this to be too small and this to be too bright and that to be too dim. You want it to all be in flow. All of this has to do with your chi, your prana, your life force. Now, I take energy up from the earth below and above, and I bring it through my body. And I transmute it through every cell, every fiber of my being, every day. And it helps. And I recommend it. We get into the masculine and feminine aspects of it. I connect with the Divine Mother from the earth. And I think of Divine Father from above. And that's what I'm doing. It's the Trinity. I'm the child. I'm the daughter. The Father, the Mother, and the daughter. It's me. I'm Goddess. So we do that. We ground our chakras and we transmute light. You are a light being. You are a spirit in a medium. Your body is the medium. Your body is the vessel. Okay? So you ground it and you get your chi flowing. Now, if you're first awakening, you're going to be wanting to, get your tailbone. You may have a lot of blocked energy in your hips. This is where we know the serpent. That's all over in secret societies and religions. And so the serpent is, when he's asleep, is right in your tailbone back here in your root chakra. Through breath and through awareness, you can bring that serpent up your spine. Breath is incredibly important to the visualization and intention. You have the breath. Okay? That's how we control the heart, we still the mind, and we get the serpent to rise. When the serpent rises, think of the serpent like your prana or your chi is now flowing through your system. This is where you feel well-being. This is where you get the power back in your hands. If you're dealing with a lot in the mind, we're going to get there because this is where we start. I can't just jump there. This is layers. And you have to be willing to sit and be centered. We've been centered for about 20 minutes now. So it's a good thing. Keep practicing your intuitive muscles. It's a skill. So we visualize ourselves like a tree growing through our chakras, centering us through our legs, through our feet, down through the floor, down through the basement, and into the earth, rooting and grounding our energy, centered. I am centered. I am present. Good morning, Mother, right? Good morning, Mother Gaia. Thank you. Thank you. And I begin to draw up her healing energy within me. Good morning, Father. Bringing him into me. Letting God flow throughout me. And I'm grounded. I'm centered. Now I have chi flow. When we don't have chi flow to our chakras, our organs then, and our endocrine system then is affected. So we can have a blocked here. All of a sudden our heart is sad. We're so depressed. Because your chi, the God, wants to rise. Once we can have the chi rise from here, then all of a sudden we can heal the heart. All of a sudden we get our mind back, and then we have our connection with God back. So we have to really work with a balance and harmony of your energy flow in your systems, okay? And that's first things first. Then we begin to shield ourselves. In the process of getting grounded, you can transmute. An intuitive body scan is incredibly easy. You just bring your awareness from your crown down your body. If you don't know about chakras, get my book. I simplify it for you, and there's light codes in there to trigger you to awaken in your own truth about these topics, which is what's important, not just what I say. So, our inner awareness is focused on our inner truth and light. You are a light being. You are a spirit. So when we channel light, we feed our soul. You really need light to live. And so like when I was dealing with depression, what was the cherry on the cake was channeling and bringing my angels in, bringing the light in. I was healed. It's my testimony. And it happens for a lot of people. Try it. Everybody has angels. You don't know your guides? Book a Meet Your Guides reading with me and I will connect you. Or join my journey with JoJo. That'll be one of the biggest investments of your life that will change your life for the better, with the power back in your hands, which is your birthright. So we bring in light into our body to feed ourselves, to heal ourselves. As I bring in the light, I cleanse and transmute any negativity, any doubt, any fears, any illusions, any projections that I may have kept that are not my own. I give it to the light to transform. I don't need to know how. I trust God will do it. And that's how you kind of cleanse yourself. It's the most powerful way versus using a tool. And you're doing that. You're bringing your consciousness all throughout your body. You can first with the skin, you just shut up and listen. You know, it's hard for me to do. You know, you just sit, you're still. You just get into receiving mode. You just allow. Oh, I notice over here I'm tense. Bringing my awareness down my arm. Oh, I got a little, feels a little, I don't know, I explain it, blocked, right? I bring my awareness down here, I'm getting chest pains. Oh my God, I got a tummy ache. Oh my God, I got a hip pain. You know, you're acknowledging all of the things that you are going to work on transmuting. And as you develop your skill, you'll be able to take those things out pretty quickly. And you could do it in that moment. The next part is shielding. So your Merkaba. I believe in what I've been taught from working with Nibirian beings of light, the Galactic Federation of Light. Our Merkaba used to spin at the speed of light. That was the sign that we were healthy. This is how individuals would live for hundreds of years. It's like your secret elixir of life, like of preserving beauty and preserving health and age is what I'm trying to say. Your sacred Merkaba is your biggest tool of spiritual protection. Another reason why I think it's so like not talked about, because it's your shield. It's so you have an auric field which has layers and is interdimensional, and then you have a geometric field, which is also interdimensional. So let's start with the geometric field. Think of a pyramid. Think of you in a pyramid. So if you reach your hand up here as a point, it's a tetrahedron, so you're going to go like this, and right about here. This is your first pyramid that you're in, the top portion of your Merkaba. This resonates with the masculine energy. It spins, it should when it's healthy, clockwise around you. When I look at people, I see it pushed down. It's rare that I even see people's Merkaba. It's so rare, like maybe once a year, once every few years, I'm like, this person is very conscious. This person is very conscious. Like, what? There's another one out there? It's been a year, it's been months. But not after you watch this video, because you're going to be another one that has their Merkaba lit up, because it's your birthright. And everything's going to change for you in a positive direction. So it used to spin, now it's dim and we're powerless. You know, we all think third eye is a gift. So I wish I could. I just can't. I don't want to hear that. Now your bottom portion is the feminine aspect to your geometric field. So think of another pyramid, drawing a point down to my toes, right? And pulling it up like this. It's the bottom tetrahedron. So you have a top portion and you have a bottom portion. It's your light body. Now the feminine portion of the Merkaba spins counterclockwise. So the top of you should be spinning this way, because we all have the masculine and feminine within, and you with your bottom portion spinning that way. This is your shield. This has your healing blueprint. This can heal your body. This can help you to interdimensionally travel. For those individuals that are super advanced, that do like telekinesis and can make themselves invisible, they're connected to their Merkaba. That's why I say it's so rare to see somebody's Merkaba actually lit up. Now, I'm a light worker, so I can help you to connect with your Merkaba. Nobody can do that for you. That's your sacred vessel. That is your sacred vessel. I'm anointed to help. I don't want to make anything twisted. It's God first. It's spirit first with me. This is your sacred you. So when I am doing energy healing sessions and I'm called to work with the person's Merkaba, they're ready. It's like I'm working with your higher source and you in this dimension to do it. Okay, so I'm working with you to do it. You have the power and you have the keys for your own field. That's where this all began. Your possession, your attachment. You forgot that. You didn't know you're sovereign. You didn't know that you allowed that possession. You didn't know that you allowed that spirit attachment into your field. We are here through the laws of sovereignty. So this whole your atmosphere is your own atmosphere. You're the savior of your atmosphere. And it starts with your awareness. So one of the things we can do is we can intend to activate it. If you've never done that before, pick up the book, okay, my book. But you can close your eyes and begin to visualize yourself in a geometric field of tetrahedron on the top of you. Begin to see that field spinning clockwise around you. I intend to connect with the bottom portion of my Merkaba, and I intend to get it spinning into balance and harmony. Now, sometimes I actually have clients that feel it when they get it starting to spin. They begin to feel, because remember, you're constantly like, you're constantly, it's like you're always moving. You have a whole atmosphere around you, and you're the water. And your body mainly is water, so it's in your bones or minerals, and it's like, and you do have metals in you. It's like, so you're a magnet, and it's all like vibrating. How are you controlling your atmosphere? Is it a hurricane, or the water's calm and still? Because there's always going to be wind and air, and you are fire too. So that's it. That's it. You just tap into it and you practice it. I would sit with your Merkaba maybe 1 to 3 minutes a day and get it spinning. When you do it, I intend for this to heal me. I intend for this to show me the way. I intend for this to heal inflammation in me. I intend for this to take and remove any disease in my body, transmute it into higher frequencies, to show me the truth, help clear my mind, help me to stay centered, help to protect me from negative projections. And that's your biggest tool. Okay? For shielding. It'll help you. And congratulate yourself, because it's advanced spirituality. Now, we also have subtle bodies. You have to understand that all of the dimensions are within you. So you have an emotional body, a physical body, a celestial body. You have an etheric template. Okay? So you're multifaceted. You're interdimensional. And your aura covers it all. So there's layers to you, and you're all geometric, and that's your matrix. So sometimes that's why, like, if you rub your eyes, or like you're in and out of like dimensions, you see like lines. I do. Numbers, the grid, the matrix is within your atmosphere. So if you reach your arms out, you're all in your aura. Your aura is continually changing colors with your mood, what you eat. We as mediums can see aura as a message, as we should be looking at our bodies the same way as a messaging system with the divine in us. And your aura can tell you a lot about yourself, your future, your past. So now let's go ahead. Now we have awareness of our geometric field and our aura. That's really what you need to know for now. Let's move into when I first became a medical intuitive and started reading people. One of the things that amazed me and the way I'll kind of define humans, in my opinion, clairvoyantly, is that people are so multifaceted. Humans have so many parts to them. I wish we were taught this in school and by doctors. If I were to look at somebody and look into their heart or their fields, I'm going to break this down. This is where you want to take also notes, because if you are dealing with a lot of chatter up here, your body's loud and you can't be still, I'm going to break this down to what everything could be. I look at people and I see the inner child speaking through them. I look at people and I see soul fragmentation, parts of them pulling, divided. I see other people's consciousness fragmented in people's field. You got a piece of your ex-boyfriend's broken heart still attached to you, sucking the life from your heart. Wondering why you're getting chest pains. Well, he's still with you because he's fragmented and you took on a piece of him. That can also happen in atmospheres. So you can pick up pieces of spirit's energy from atmospheres. I'll go in atmospheres. So, I think of, and I give the example of when I bought this peak chair from a thrift store. Every time I'd sit on it, I would get a horrible stomach ache and I'd hear about a rhinoplasty. So the woman that had the chair before had a nose job and she was in a lot of pain there. So there was a lot of energy attached to it. So I had to clear the chair and the stomach aches went away. And I stopped hearing that loop. No, you would drive yourself insane if you don't have awareness of this. You think, oh my God, I got all these problems. No, you're just sensitive. You are wired and built to sense. And you're interdimensional all the time. So you're sensing the atmosphere, you're sensing the objects. The objects are sentient. The objects hold energy. They could be capsules for spirits that are lost. This is why I think a lot of mediums that do play around with haunted houses and haunted tours and haunted dolls, you'll see they've got disease every time. I don't play with that. I think it's an imbalance and an unnatural phenomenon here on Earth. I think it's the problem that we face with darkness here. So we play around with this darkness too much. Because darkness does seem to steal, rob, and take prosperity on every level of people's lives. That's my opinion. So I don't play with it. I transmute it. And I don't have chronic joint pain anymore. I don't have cysts anymore. I don't have depression. As it should be. I think we should grow older and wiser and older and healed. I think of there's certain vegans and plant-based women that are just in their 60s and 70s and gorgeous, glowing, sensual, wise, grounded, and you can just see. And that's how we should be. But we're programmed to not be connected to our Merkaba. When I see people, the Merkaba is shrunk. People's energy is shrunk in when you should be expansive out. And so they end up in the nursing home. Prophecy of Christians and religion is they end up losing their minds and forgetting who their family is, dementia. It's the walk of the religious one. Waiting for a savior, okay? We should grow older and wiser, not old and sick. Get that out of your mind. I'll make another video on that. It reminds me a lot of pregnancy and childbirth. What happened to, women having orgasms? when they have children. All this postpartum depression, but what about the spiritual women and the plant-based women that don't face that? It's another video. We are programmed to be exactly who they want us to be. And it usually is tied to the coin. Profit. So we have full-blown awareness now. We're rolling. We are really fighting the dark right now. So focus. So I mentioned that I can see people, they've got their inner child speaking to them, fragmented parts of them, other people's fragmented parts of them, spirit, energy from the atmosphere. You can also have spiritual parasites. You can have spiritual implants, and you can have a spiritual attachment. Let's break all of this down. So, from working with Nibirian beings, and I learned about like the start of time, and like when I say God is law, it's like, think of the beginning of like of a vortex in space that spins into thought. And like fireballs or comets is the best way to put it. And they just like the parts of this God, it's like goes into fireballs into like the Earth and to Planet X and all these planets. There's tons of planets everywhere. It's like, and it's like there's now, it's like it kind of lowers itself in certain planets and people come from the Earth. So it's like you have God plus Earth. That's what you are. And a lot of us are hybrids too. That's different because then the people, the beings from consciousness of God and source to other planets are made from the elements of that planet. So they have a different biology, and we've all hybrided. We're all mated. And so that's kind of how I see it. But what I learned about Earth specifically is that when source is here, it's like source dropped down. I think that's the symbology of fallen world. This third dimension is lower. So in the process of essentially source fragmenting, there's a duality. That's how we actually like, if you were to think even God started as like this dark being of the universe, it's like he thought, right? There's always light. He thought it could be dark. There's light because it's a hologram. So here it's like there's a duality. So there's light to the darkness. So it's a mirror, okay? So there's a method to my madness here. Hang in there. So you're God, you're goddess. You are the mirror. So how do we get these spirit attachments? Like I said, Sage isn't going to do it. One of the reasons children are so heavily under attack is because they're able to be in fear more easily than us as adults. That's all it takes. I always say it's like God doesn't spare the martyr. God doesn't spare children because God is law. So the law in this dimension, let's say you're sad. It's a lot about high and low vibrational energy and your frequency in your atmosphere, okay? Because you're a fragment of God, so you are essentially creator. Now, and it's up to you to clear your attachments. It's up to you to clear your possessions. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. So you're going to have to check your frequency. That's the key. Your frequency is what allowed this. You have to always work on it because it's dark here. So when you're in those lower frequencies, you can get my book. I go over like different emotions and numbers and the frequencies behind it. Understand the energetics of all things. Everything is a symbol. So the lower energies of the world would be grief, hate, resentment, pain, agony. And the higher vibrations, and you can study on it. This is your healing method. This is how you heal, okay? Our higher vibrations, I like to say, you know, I grew up as a Christian, so I say the fruits of the Spirit. Joy, love, peace, harmony, balance, togetherness. It puts a smile to my face. That's the Holy Spirit. It's love. It's light. You can't help but to like, as I say, how are these mediums sick? I don't get it. They're not channeling light. Bring that in. Bring that joy into you if you are sick. Bring that love into you etherically if you are not well. It will heal you. It will transform you. So when we are in the higher vibrations, that's another, it's like you're connected to your Merkaba. You're safe. You give off a frequency of light, of high vibration. It like oozes from you. But when you're in the lower grief, which is bound to happen in your life, your energy shrinks. You become disempowered. You become shriveled in. Everything's blocked. You become depressed. Your chi can't flow. Your chest isn't out. You're not confident. You're in bed. That's your frequency that you're emitting. Okay? Let's say, what's our grief? Grief usually is in the heart. So right here, you're emitting grief. Cha-ching, like the, Etsy song. The Shopify, cha-ching, right? Okay? So then you've got your auric field around you and you're giving off grief. That's your mirror. Remember, duality. There's going to be a spirit or an energy in the atmosphere that is waiting to match that. So you essentially, by the laws of the universe, by God, allow grief to stick to you now. Because of your radio broadcast, your frequency. This goes for children too. Do you see why kids are so haunted? So we're holding grief now. So we got a spirit attachment. You've invited it. It's an invitation. Come on. So this is how it starts. Some souls are afraid of the light when they pass. So they don't go into it. And they end up back here. Hello, welcome back to hell. Okay. And they need to feed. And there are exorcists that just kind of perpetuate this problem. And then there's the mediums that are transmuting and helping these souls to transmute into higher light because they deserve that. Talk about, we have to be compassionate. Talk about the Christ consciousness. Remember, there's the Christ consciousness and there's the Antichrist consciousness always. It's not one person. It's not just Trump. Okay? It's all of his people have that spirit of the Antichrist. So the Christ consciousness isn't necessarily Yeshua, although Yeshua did help to usher this in and help to bring it back to light. Tried to. Nobody believed him. His family didn't get what he was saying. Root yourself in love. People don't get that, right? There's an opposite. There's the hate. That's the Antichrist. It just is. It's a spirit that can be within many. And when we talk about fertility crisis here, Spirit has me mention, many women will not be able to conceive in these days because they are not conscious. And although it's like me as a light, like an indigo, like I was born into a family that wasn't very conscious, I still had a lot of love because I have good karma. So what's different about these indigos is they have even better karma. They don't play any games. They don't want anyone that's not conscious or present. They don't want to be with people that are possessed. Like for people like me, I was born from a possessed woman. Most people are. Possession is so subtle. I'm going to break it down, okay? It's so subtle. But these indigos, they don't want to touch it. They don't. They have better karma than us. They are different beings. They are so high. They only want conscious parents. They only want Christ consciousness parents. They only want love. TikTok, living room families. That's what these indigos want. So I see and will prophesize that, who will be birthing the Antichrist spirits is we see a lot of turmoil in labor rooms these days. We are giving plastics to our babies, ladies. Our ocean is polluted. And we are passing that along. So we got to stop. It will be by God. There is hope. It's through consciousness, awareness, and spirit. God first, not religion. Spirit. If you have a fertility problem, you should be talking to spirit. This is why you can be as healthy as you want. It's up to God. It's up to spirit. This is why you can be homeless for years and in horrible health and then get pregnant. How? It's spiritual. On the contrary to what doctors say and make a whole bunch of money off of people trying to do medicine and it doesn't work. Back to it. Choice is also part of the Christ consciousness. When you embody the Christ consciousness by choice, you choose to understand you have a choice. You have a choice. I have a choice not to hate this person that hurt me. I have a choice to do the right thing. I have a choice to heal myself. I have a choice to listen to the guidance. So you clear yourself. Christ consciousness. So we're in grief. There's a soul that is lost and needs to be transmuted. All you've learned is from the church. So you start to notice you're not only going through a period of grief, but you start getting heart pains. Your heart starts to hurt. You're getting flutters and palpitations. Like, what the heck is going on with me? So you're starting to sense that something is latched into your field. It could be out there, that spirit. You don't see it. You come in with a reading with me, I'll smell it. Okay? This is why I don't have text with people. I'm not in group text because most people are possessed and they don't know. Because it's very subtle. It's not like the movies. It's like a part of you. When you release the spirit, it's like, oh my God, I have clarity again. I thought that was me. It's so subtle. It's not that, it's so subtle. And you could depossess yourself after depossession after depossession, become clearer and clearer. It's so subtle. These souls they're just lost. And there's laws. Law is God. God is law. So you're sensing that this spirit is pulling from your heart and draining you. Your body is telling you you don't know how to read your body. You don't know how to listen to your body. So you go to a doctor or a medium, try to tell you about your body. You're not connected with a light worker, right? You wrote me, and I am a little dyslexic, and so I wrote you back, maybe misplaced grammar, and you said, not her, right? Who else? Well, this person's virtual. I won't go to her. I'll go to somebody I can sit right in front of. And you go, and you're not in front of a light worker, and you don't get the help you need. Spirit says, you're not ready yet. You're going to keep battling. You have to have awareness, and you must work with light workers, period. Psychic reading can be very accurate. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's like, I don't just psychically read people. I am a medium. I am anointed. I do this for the light. That's what you can always trust. Always. It's always accurate. And the medium should be telling you how to heal yourself, not always come back to me. I hear that all the time. People scamming, people, pay me $2,000 and I'll clear you. All I need is, picture and your date of birth. Bull. Back to this. Let me try to wrap this up. But this is where we're starting to, cook with grace here. This is the good stuff. I'm obsessed with this type of stuff. I love this. I love, how does spirit influence us in our health? It's so interesting. So he's out there. He's not a family member. You just were, you're grieving, so you had to move. You're a mirror, so you attract a property that has a lot of grief attached to it. And now you have spirit attachment that you've allowed in. We don't walk down the street and pick up spirit attachments. We are always giving off a frequency that's saying, okay, come in. Spirits of joy, because I'm in joy. And I'm in peace, spirits of peace. Or I am miserable. I am in hate. I am in sorrow. And that is what you will attract. Now, light workers or empaths, we attract negativity just from being a light. So we kind of we just break the law of attraction with that. So you have an extra battle. If you're a light worker, you battle extra. You fight harder. Because you can be as positive you want and they still swarm. Every day. Heart. He's out there. There's some guy in the property. He's like, oh yeah, now I have some food. You're sad. I'm going to feed off of it. So you have no awareness, and you pull your cross out, right? And your holy water, because you feel like something's dark in the house. You're going through the hallways of the house, and you're throwing your holy water. You're scared, which is making it come closer. It's getting what it wants. You don't know who you are. And I see it on TikTok all the time. People crying in their cars, oh my God, my house is haunted, what do I do? And they record it and they provoke it. It's feeding off your fear. It's feeding off your sadness. You battle by knowing who you are, walking in your truth, and knowing that you be empowered and know that you have more power over your atmosphere. You know the laws. You know God. But if you don't know, it will come closer and closer and feed off of your fear and ignorance. I'm sorry. There's no nice way to say it. I have ignorances. We all do. We have to release our ego if we want to heal ourselves, say I'm wrong. You have to. Especially with religious deconstruction. It's hard, you mourn that. So it's coming closer now. You're in the haunted house, now you're exhausted. And usually with hauntings, they like to disrupt your sleep because that's sacred for you and for you to heal and to rest and feel good the next day so you're not grouchy. And in that frequency, so now it's coming closer with time. Now you're getting more scared. You're starting to see cabinets open. You're starting to get scratches. Discernment of paranormal activity, burning on the skin. I feel extremely nauseated. People say, oh, don't trust those mediums. They don't know who they're talking to. Some don't. But let me tell you about me as a light worker, connected to my spirit and my body. Anytime there's dark energy around, I feel it in me. I will feel so nauseated. Dating men these days, ladies, have you been on Hinge? No. I will be nauseated being with certain people, especially if they have alcohol problems. Those spirits are dark. I can't stomach them. I don't care if I'm here and he's over in Thailand. I don't need to see him. I'm sick. You'll get burning in you'll get like like, geez, I'm like, my temples. I'm like, oh my God, who's here? I'm like, why don't you go? Go into the light, please. You're hurting me. Choose love. I smell you. You're rotting flesh. Don't you want a new body? Leave this person. Go get a new body so you can have freedom. That's how we talk to spirits, to help them transmute. Because they do smell like rotting flesh. And usually when I'm smelling, it's through Claire Augustine. I've always had a very sensitive nose. Then when I start to smell the spirits, I call them a foul-smelling spirit because it smells like, usually it's my symbol for like an earthbound spirit. It's like decaying flesh that's sucked on people. You say, why don't you want to join our group chat, Jordan? Because it stinks. And nobody's aware. You know, why don't you want to come to the thing? Everybody got spirit attached to the neck, they hug, and then you're passing all of it to the kids. Wake up. Wake up. We're being forced to survive. It's that serious. So you're in the haunted house, you're tired, you're scared, it's now very close to you. So it creeps in with time. You have to keep feeding it, okay? And it's through, again, your non-awareness and your fear. You have to fight. This is a warfare. The first time I ever saw like a spirit, I guess you could say a spirit attachment, I saw like a black orb attached to my partner's shoulder. Now, what is his symptoms? Mental health. He's on medication for mental health. Heart problems, doctors can't find out why. You have a dark orb sucking the life out of your, heart. What do you expect? Now, the first time I ever really saw like an actual, but not an orb, it's like, then it's spirits like right there attached to you. And, I remember looking at a woman remotely and it was like, this spirit was like, you could see his head right here and his eyes, and had his arms around this woman like this, so she couldn't see. She couldn't see out of her spiritual eyes. She had all types of head problems, all type of mental health. Spirit got her like this. She can't see. Blocking the third eye, and they wrap around your neck, and they hold you tight. So a lot of times our possessions, again, feel like a part of us, and a lot of us, let's be honest, are addicted to pain. We're addicted to suffering. Look at all these ladies. Let's look at the past 3 lovers you've had. Do you really want to have a child? Okay, are we attracting adult men, childlike men? A lot of ladies, you're just attracting consistent trauma bonds. We secretly like it. Until you become aware that you are attracting negativity because you're addicted to it through your neurochemistry, until you have regulation and emotion regulation, you're going to keep attracting, getting a need met. I want to nurture a kid. Now you got a man. You got to take care of him. And that's what you know what I mean? So it's like, you've done this to yourself. You have to understand that. You have to. You've done this. It feels so good to sit there in that pain. That feeds that spirit. So then once it's, and you don't handle it, you don't call me. Okay? In fact, you don't got to call me. There's strict policy. Just book the paranormal consult first. Try to clear it yourself, and then we can do spirit release if you need help. So now this woman is, she's feeling sorry for herself. She's in full-blown victim mode. Oh my God, I'm poor because of him, and, she and him, and, so she's victim, and now it's within her. So this usually, when the first spirits that are cleared in spirit release therapy are the ones from childhood. So usually this started a long time ago with deep possession. So possession is not like what you see on Hollywood. So it's like, so now it's within by a contract that you've allowed through your own victimhood. And, at first you probably are like raging. I know I've had possessions where I'm just like angry, and it's like, it's full throttle. It's controlling your vessel. It's controlling you. I remember when I used to drink, when I was around 21, my boyfriend would say, Jordan, your face would change. Your eyes would change. Your eyes would go black. Possession. People's mouths change. Remember, when you spirit release, your illness is clear. This is science. People's face, their appearance changes. They no longer are in all these repetitive car accidents or injuries, repetitive injuries. These are all spirits, in my opinion. And there's science that backs it. Come on, welcome to the Great Awakening. Thank God Aquarius is out. I'm not getting hung just to say this, right? They're not coming at me with a pitchfork. Thank you, Age of Aquarius. It's within you. You rage. You say, okay, I admit it. Is there just like a little child? Oh, maybe I have possession. Yeah. So you go to a shaman in Costa Rica and you get a clearing and you feel so good. Like, woo! Something changed. You're starting to play with energy a bit and see that it actually is energetic. You're feeling so good, but you're not aware. So you're still connected to people that are causing your pain and that aren't healed and are also mirrors and dealing with spirit attachments and possession. So although you feel good today, it's like you took a good bath and you stepped into the real world again. You go to the airport, come back to Texas. Airports are a big accumulation of energy. I remember in 2019, before I knew I was a medium, I was getting prophecy of airplanes. I remember I was working in a car dealership, and this was in Orchard Park, New York, and there was a gentleman that owned a lot of the parking garages in Buffalo, and he drove a McLaren car. So I don't know if you guys know, like, I love cars and exotic cars, and like I worked in automotive for a long time. So I was getting a picture in this guy's McLaren. It was just like orange McLaren car. Sick, super sick. But he ended up passing like 2 or 3 months later, his plane fell from the sky. So the next place I was working was a furniture store, and I get prophecy about during these times how it's best to stay away from airplanes and airports because planes are going to be falling from the sky. And not only that, they're not aware of like how the planet shifts, which are intense in these past years, are playing a role on our water, our chakras. People are going to go mad. You're going to see more people go, not just Trump mode, Trump supporter mad. Like you'll see that in airports and airplanes and everybody's filming it. So, I got that prophecy and I trust it. So she shows up at the airport and she's an empath. She doesn't have her shield on because the shaman didn't tell her to put one on. Shaman said, come back to me in a year. So she's in the airport, happy-go-lucky, and all of a sudden she starts to get drained again. All the people, all the accumulation of negative energy in the airport, she starts to shrivel up again. And then she goes right back home to her toxic boyfriend, who she loves so much, who's possessed, who's got all types of spirit attachments, no real awareness of it. And bada boom, bada bang, that possession will start to creep up again. Good, but more so just slightly when she starts to get back in her old ways. Here's how it really works. 3 years later, she changed her life after that shamanic journey. Things turned around for her. 3 years later, there's a car accident and she loses a loved one and she goes back into grief. All of a sudden that possession is going to start to rise up again. It's been with her the whole time. Never really left. Just slowly feeding off of her little anger bouts every now and then. When she loses her cool and gets back into the addiction every now and then. And slowly but surely that possession gets rights over you again. It's so subtle, people. It's so subtle. It's not like the movies. It's so subtle. It's like a part of you. So then 3 years later, she has a full-blown paranormal problem again, where she feels completely haunted and out of control of herself. Lost her mind, her health is deteriorating, and her money's shriveled up, prosperity, everything's chaos. Because that's what darkness does, if we allow it. And then she finally comes to a light worker like me, and I say, I'm smelling this. I see this, and hope that this woman doesn't think I'm just bamboozling her, because I say it to a lot of people. And it's not always, though. That's not always the conversation. I have to always give the truth. So let's only hope she takes word and helps herself. So that's how it works. In the meanwhile, when that spirit first popped in, it broke a piece of your auric field. So you have a hole or a rip in your aura field. So, you got a little hole here. Remember, you're just spinning. And you're not aware. So now there's a hole over here. And then usually we get the spiritual parasites, like bats just flying into the light, trying to get all the bugs. So you're just allowing now, you've got a possession. Another spirit's going to come over here and feed off your anger because you're pissed off. And then that breaks another hole over here. And so then you have more things from the atmosphere that aren't like necessarily spirits, but they're thought forms. Your thought forms, if you're sitting in a place of pain for a long time, can spiral into like God. Like it can spiral into an entity. So, you could have thought forms coming in and all of a sudden you have repetitive looping thoughts of horrible things to yourself. You know what I'm talking about? And that's not even a spirit, it's just a thought form. So you've got the thought form in your field, you've got spiritual parasites, you've got another attachment, and you have a possession. How do you operate? You don't. And this is where we start to see people, and I call it a blanket stare is my symbol. It's a blanket stare. Person's no longer in there. When I was a young girl going to Catholic church, I would say, something ain't right here. These people aren't wrapped tight, and it looks like their light's off. And that was a very accurate interpretation of possession. Lights out. So as part of your field, you have a silver tube. If you do out-of-body work, you can leave your body because you're still connected to your silver tube. When you pass to your next body or to your next lifetime or dimension, that silver tube is cut from your body. So essentially your light and your spirit is what feeds your flesh. That's why it's so important to channel light. And it's free. That's why it's been robbed from you. Right here, the whole time. Not in Costa Rica, here. Not over here in Colorado doing Asawaka or whatever it is. Okay? Here. That's the powerful one. That's the chosen one that chooses to be chosen. You remember that you chose to come here. That's the chosen one. It's a choice. And let's hope you choose Christ. Love. Choice. what do we do? What do we do? Because darkness robs you in every area of your life. If it's at this point, you're going to need professional help. So you're going to want to get with a light worker medium. There's a lot of amazing souls out there that dedicate their lives, such as myself, to understanding these phenomena. Mind you, I am a rookie in the business. I really started around 2020, so going into about 5 years of understanding of truth. And I'm finally teaching. Now, I also had to be brought to haunted houses, homelessness, jail, poverty, to teach this message to you. I've been brought to darkness, several haunted houses. Why the heck am I here, God? Get me out. Lessons, so you can teach. I've earned this. I've fought to deliver this message to you today. Okay? I fought for us. I fight for the light. It makes me want to cry because it's the Spirit of God. The Holy Spirit. It owes everything. God and love owes all darkness. And I'm not special is what I'm trying to say. Is like when you step up for God, you fight. You fight. This is a battle. But it doesn't mean we quit. It gets better because you know who you are and you're able to fight it better with more wisdom. And it can be predictable too. So you are going to want to get with a professional light worker to help you to clear your possession. I would recommend that you get with someone that's not going to be like, in the name of Jesus, you know, it's like, I've spoke tongues before, yes, but you know, what's going on in Israel and like all that Christianity, Christianity's not Ethiopian Christianity, okay? Christianity is what King James wants you to believe Christianity is. And let me tell you, if I'm African American, so my family was brought from Africa into the South in America. And African American slaves in the South, slave masters didn't let them read or write. They took that right from them. My ancestors weren't allowed to keep their original spiritual practices from Africa. But you know what the slave masters did? You know what King James did? Says, here's the Bible. They can't read. Here you go. So that's why, although I am different in my beliefs, my ancestors still sing songs of old Christian slave songs. It's a program. It's a program. And it's not truth. And it won't clear you. And that's why they did that. And that's why they've done this to us all. Okay? So welcome to the Great Awakening. I'm so happy you're here. And you're still here with me. I hope. You will reach out for help to a light worker who's not religious. And because I see goodness in all religion and I take from all. I think there's beauty. Anyone giving glory to God is beautiful. Anyone giving a faith is good. Okay, you'll feel Spirit. You can always feel the Holy Spirit. But religion is not the way. It really causes a lot of possession and ignorance and hurt and hate and punishment. So don't go to somebody that's just, you know, back to the fall of Israel. It's like, if this prophecy, it's like, think about it. Let's say there's a fall of Israel right now. Did they not just make their bed? And then, guess what? We move on, just like we're moving on with what's happening in these other places of the world where there's war. We are so fixated on this Israel. It's like, what if this was Israel, America? What if this is the Holy Land? We're so, stop. It's like, it just perpetuates darkness on earth. So please consider choosing a medium that's a light worker that helps. A lot of it, like professional hypnotherapists, they call it like spirit removal. They're in the business of spirit removal. These are the people you want to look for. These are the souls that will help you to transmute this in love, because that soul needs love. I'm sorry. You know, it's like, how can you give love to this beast? What if that was you? What if that was you or your family member? You would want them to receive love and stop suffering, right? We need to stop the suffering on earth, not perpetuate it in a different direction. Energy does not die. It only can transform. That's a law. That's God. So another perspective I always share with people, we're going to wrap it up here. When we have villainous parents, you know, a lot of times people have the parents do horrible things to their children. You can guarantee that that person may have been your murderer in a past life. That person could have burned you at the stake in your past life. Now they give you life. This is the lesson of unconditional love. This is the lesson of Christ consciousness. This is what the Holy Spirit's about. This is how we win. We use unconditional love. Now, that doesn't mean you don't set boundaries with your family. Your family is, you know, coming in with, you set boundaries. No contact is still love. I'm not saying that. A soul must be ready to do the healing work that we must be ready to do. So that's really how you clear the possession, is you have to have a conversation with the soul and make sure they're ready. This soul needs to be ready to transform. It's a conscious choice. You push them into the Christ consciousness. That's how we win the battle. And remember, as we, you know, I see people, their hearts go black and gray after they have horrific things done to their children. And, you know, they want sentencing for their child's murder. I couldn't imagine. So I don't judge, but I will give a message and preach that to consider. Don't let it make your heart go black. Because your heart should be green and pink, like the Divine Mother in earth. Don't let yourself go gray over somebody that, you know, is a horrible villain, that has possession. Don't. Because the reality is you could have been that murderer in a past life. And you finally got it. And now in this life you don't do harm like that. But you once were that person. This is the cycle. It's all a circle. So we really are all in this together, and really the only solution is community, love, and peace. Some people don't like that. You know, so I push for the change of the judicial system, and you'll see these indigos that are born through people that are conscious will change the judicial system. Because it is racist, and it does feed off of colorism as well, and that needs to change. And it's not for the people. And punishment doesn't work. Because if you really want that murderer that hurt your child, I'm sorry, you know, to get off the, you know, and to not do this again, we need to depossess criminals. We need to spirit release criminals. Because that's what will transform the demon, the demonic entity. That's what will change this. Otherwise, back at it again next life. When they die in prison in a box. You say, oh, that's what they deserve. I'm not here to judge. Just here to persuade your opinion and perspective to be more rooted in unconditional love. It's easier said than done. I know. I can't imagine. Like I said, I empathize. I can only, you know. But it's a perspective that I hope we're moving into. I can only pray. That's what I bring as a solution to what's going on in the judicial system, because it's not fair, it's not right, and it probably will burn to the ground like everything else that is corrupt is in the age of Aquarius. Next. Let's wrap this up. So you're going to get help with a professional to clear your possession. When you go in for spirit release therapy, especially with me, for a paranormal consult, what I do is I identify the root. So usually we go right to childhood, always. And we talk about your frequency, and that's, now we're cooking with grease. So I say, okay, well, I see this scene here, and this is where you start to generate, and this is where I started to attach. And then over here, you really got into a drinking phase. Stay away from alcohol, especially with all these shifts right now. Stay away from alcohol and hard drugs. So that'll make you possessed. That's a gateway. All those lower emotions, the grief, the hate, the anger, losing loved ones before you level up. There's so many different indicators, like when you go through major shifts in your life, you're more susceptible. When you awaken, you're more susceptible to paranormal activity. So you have to be you have to get your warrior here. Just stay grounded, not in fear. So I will identify the root to when this started and help you with understanding the frequency to move forward, to keep it away. I also will encourage you to speak to the spirit or give you the name that I'm picking up. and help you to walk through releasing the spirit through a little ceremony. You can get a candle, you can sit with yourself and your guides, you can talk, you can scan your body and bring awareness to where you feel twitching or burning or anything. And you can talk to it, get a name, ask if it had an earth body, find out what type of, entity. Is it an entity or is it a soul? I recommend if you're hearing an entity, you need to see somebody professional. ASAP. Tomorrow. Today. Yesterday. Okay? But if you're getting a name, you'll say, well, let's go back to where before you passed. Can you see your earth body? Why didn't you choose the light? They will tell you. Say, I don't believe in going into the light. Say, well, you ask, why are you attached to me? And they say, what do I hear? It's like, they will say like they like you, or they'll say like they like to keep you irritated, or they like to keep you frustrated, or it's like they like to be there, latching off and feeding off you, and they'll tell you. Well, you could tell the spirit, I am aware of you. You are no longer alive. You should do the right thing and choose light for yourself. You should carry on. That's the natural order. And by the way, we have the sovereign law of the universe, and you by law are no longer allowed in my field. And I can help you. I call in your guides and angels of unconditional love. I call in my guides and angels of unconditional love. You call your favorite deity, favorite angel, and surround this soul. Are you ready to transform and get your own body, get your own power back? Are you ready? And you help that spirit to transmute. So one of the sure signs, you'll feel an instant shift. Sometimes clients will coughing is a good symbol. When we start coughing out, you can feel like a shake. Like some people will feel it leave. People will convulse, or it's just a subtle shift, But when I'm watching this happen, I always see it, and I wait for my client to tell me and confirm. Do you think it's gone? And I say, oh my God, yeah, I felt it leave. I said, I did too. Now we're cooking with grease. This is the celebration mode. You did it. And then all of a sudden, you're no longer in those repetitive car accidents. You no longer are getting those repetitive injuries. You're no longer broke all the time. You have breakthroughs in your money and finance. You have breakthroughs in love and relationships. Because that's what the darkness does. It robs you. Okay? Now, you could have several. Usually the first spirit release therapy, we go to childhood ones and we work our way through life. These beings have been with you your whole life. You say, that release, you thought that was you. You thought it was you. It wasn't. The servant of the mind, we'll go into another video. As we can see, this is going into about, I'm not going to make this over an hour and a half. I'm not. So we'll wrap it up here. That's simplified. Now, hopefully you have enough awareness while it's on the outside, okay? So that you can do it more simply and not have it so close to you. Because once it's in, it's hard. You should get professional help. If it's in your house, call a medium. I don't need your address or all that buldanky pictures and all that. Get on the phone. For the house, I like to do it over the phone. I don't like to necessarily see. If you are on Zoom, I do look away. But we can clear the home too. So those souls are a lot, they need to be transmuted, and you'll have breakthroughs in your house. It won't feel so heavy or foggy. Or you go in the kitchen, you all say, oh, I'm in sickness and pain. It's like, that'll be cleared. Now, if you're over a burial ground, move. Okay? Just move. And what else? If you have spirit attachments and you think it's your house, that's why it's always good to have discernment, because it could just be you. So if you move again, you got the same old repetitive problem. No matter where you go, don't run from it. You remember, you're supposed to be right here, right now, with me, centered. So we don't run from darkness, we fight it. And not in hate, in love. Love your darkness. Love all parts of you. What else, Spirit? Conclusion. I want to help. I have a strict policy. If you know you have a paranormal problem, you are booking it within 24 to 48 hours of you going on the website and putting in your card and paying. The date you choose is very soon, the next appointment. Don't let this linger, and don't bring me into your possession waiting a week to help you. I will email you or I will cancel it. Follow the rules. Hurry in. Take care of this sooner than later. If you can't do it, step 2 would be an actual spirit release therapy session. Now, you can get with a clinical hypnotherapist if you have a very severe case, like demonic possession. Legally, I can only do so much. So I've taken certification, but it's simple cases. I'm not a therapist. I'm not claiming to be. Okay? So you can and the paranormal consult will tell you if I can help you. Energy healing can help spirits to pop off, but what I really see is spirit release therapy. That's where you are getting more empowered, because if you're not empowered, you're going to keep getting attachments. So ultimately, your awakening really, you'll hit walls awakening until you actually learn how to do this yourself. So sometimes that's the solution too, is like channeling light, tapping into your abilities. So drop a comment with any questions that you have and share this video. Please like it. You can join my emailer to stay up to date with different events. I do free group healings, and I have a journey with JoJo, which I really encourage all of my clients so that I'm not enabling them. I have to offer this so that I can help connect you with your guides. I can help you with energy healing, your abilities, your dreams, all your symbol-based, to help you to be that empowered one, awakened, fulfilled, and feeling a little bit more in control with what you can control. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Best wishes to you.